Hello and welcome to Famous Gays and Lesbians, Alleged and Otherwise. I'm your host, Thomas Connolly. I happen to be a gay actor, and I live in the gayest city of them all, West Hollywood, California. Now, today's episode deals with one of the biggest gay movie producers of all time. Okay, here are some clues. He produced one of the most successful movie musicals of all time, as well as one of the biggest flop movie musicals of all time. He was loud, ostentatious, and over the top. He made Liberace look like a wallflower. Okay, he had more ups and downs in his career than Cher had farewell tours. He was constantly on a diet. He was always struggling with his weight. And this led to his unique look of always wearing caftans. He said that these hid a multitude of sins. Who do you think I'm talking about? Oh, I'm referring to the one and only, the fabulous, the flamboyant Alan Carr. He was the personification of ambition. You have to hear his story. He was the gay, reclusive, shy kid in high school. He longed to be the good-looking, popular, hunky football player. But you know what? He wound up getting that level of attention because he developed this fun, outspoken, hilarious personality, and he hated to be called that kid with the good personality. He said he knew what that meant. If I have such a great personality, that means I have no sex appeal. At a very early age, he developed this aggressive, some would say ruthless, drive to succeed in show business. Growing up in the suburbs of Chicago, he produced his first theatrical show at the age of 17 while he was still at Northwestern University, and the show starred Tallulah Bankhead. Even though it lost money, he was determined to succeed, and he dropped out of college and he opened up his own theater in Chicago called the Civic Chicago Theater. Now, get a load of this. In his next venture, he actually got Bette Davis to star in The World of Carl Sandburg, and that turned out to be semi-successful. He eventually found his way to Hollywood, and he was the co-creator of the Playboy Penthouse TV series, along with Hugh Hefner, at the age of 23. A few years later, he opened up his own talent agency, aptly titled Alan Carr Enterprises, and he managed some of the biggest old Hollywood star names and some of the newest Hollywood star names. Okay, some of the old ones were Rosalind Russell, Tony Curtis, Peter Sellers, and some of the new Hollywood names were Marlo Thomas, Anne Margaret, and oh, my favorite, Diane Cannon. This talent agency turned out to be hugely successful, and he was still in his 20s. And then he set his sights on becoming a movie producer. Okay, this is how he produced his first movie. He was vacationing in Mexico, where reportedly he met his first gay boyfriend, and he saw this long line of people waiting to see a movie. Naturally, he had to check it out. The movie was a Hispanic-based film about a plane crash and the ensuing cannibalism. He loved this movie. He bought this low-budget film, dubbed it in English, called it Survive, and it turned out to be this huge financial success for him. He was now a big player at Paramount Pictures. Now, being the flamboyant, over-the-top gay man that he was, he proceeded to throw these grandiose movie premieres for Tommy and Saturday Night Fever. However, the next project became the crowning glory of his career. In 1978, Paramount Pictures gave him the green light to produce the movie Grease. He cast his own client, Olivia Newton-John, in the lead role, even though she had never acted in a movie before. But let's face it, his instincts turned out to be right. And then he cast the up-and-coming star, John Travolta, who had just made a big splash with the movie Saturday Night Fever. Well, when all was said and done, he produced one of the most iconic movie musicals of all time, Grease. In 1978, it was the highest grossing film of the year. The soundtrack went on to break box office records as well. Oh, but it was his parties in his Beverly Hills estate, named Hill Haven Lodge, that became the hottest ticket in town. Once again, he mixed old Hollywood and new Hollywood. Oh, and it was reported that by the end of the evening, it wound up evolving into a gay orgy by poolside. Robert Mitchum, Rosalind Russell, and Peter Sellers were quick to exit. He was the pinnacle of the wealthy movie producer, all while wearing a tasteful, lovely caftan. Now, even though Alan Carr never admitted to being a gay man, he was always labeled as flamboyant, which was the code word for gay back then. It was also reported that he always had some kind of Twinkie boyfriend. You know what Twinkie means? A young, pretty, compliant boy. Alan Carr was literally the golden boy of Hollywood till he wasn't. The meteoric rise of Alan Carr was quickly followed by the meteoric fall of Alan Carr. The harder they rise, the bigger they fall. You have to stay tuned for part 2, which details the remarkable demise of this man. This is Thomas Connolly for Famous Gays and Lesbians, Alleged and Otherwise. Hey, if you like what you see here, could you please like and subscribe? That would really help to sustain our show. Until next time, bye-bye.